these crop up all the time. All the time. And it's a matter of asking that one question can really help unlock you. And that one story that I didn't realize I had, which was my value only is in the problem solving. That one story was even holding me back.
What if there was just so much more to you? What if there were things that you could work on and work through? And you guys, here's the thing. That is the truth. The truth is you are not inherently broken. Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And this is Emilia.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are helping growth-minded humans evolve by breaking one limiting belief at a time. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, 193, Motivation Monday, how to find your dream partner. If you've been searching for those keys, searching for some answers, searching for people who have done it, right? Who aren't just talking the talk, but also do it. That is a really good episode to dive into, to listen to, and to get some really simple tips. For today, 194, the story is hurting you. This story, I have heard more clients talk about than I think anything. And honestly, it's why I wanted to do this, because I know that if my clients are going through this, and I've definitely been through it, I know that all of you probably have too. And the story is, what's wrong with me? As opposed to, what happened to me? I know that probably doesn't seem like that much of a difference, but it is a massive, massive difference. What is wrong with me is focused on you, the person, just where you are right now in the space that you're in, given no context to anything that you've experienced. It's just like, oh, I'm just here and I'm just broken, or I'm just a mess up, or, I'm just this or I'm just that. But what happened to me? That gives you the grace and the permission to look at the entirety of your life, the entire lens, and really say, what are the things that I went through that got me to this place? Why did I experience those things that I did? And how did those experiences shape how I saw myself and what I thought and what I felt and then what I did that got me here? And that is a massive difference. I know you and I have had so many conversations where we really dove into that of like I know there's been so many times where you and I have had conversations about that for myself.
Yeah.
Of me just being like, I feel so broken. I feel so lost. I don't understand why I am the way that I am. And you really helped me to do this and to see this and to see that that's too simple. It's too simplistic. It's too black and white. It's too easy to just look at yourself where you are and be like, I'm just a mess up.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, binary thinking.
Yeah. It's like, well, are you? Or have you gone through things and had experiences that you probably didn't know how to handle? You probably didn't have guidance. You probably didn't have feedback. And so maybe you made some bad choices, and that's why you are where you are today.
Definitely. Yeah, that binary thinking can get us really stuck. And the changing the question of what's wrong with me in our own internal dialogue versus replacing it with a what happened to me. It shifts from like an internal of, like you said, brokenness, a feeling and an appraisal of brokenness, like I'm broken, like that identity gets seeped into, versus a place of curiosity and compassion. It's almost like there's forgiveness and curiosity instead of where the terrain was very unforgiving and almost as if you can't do anything about it. It's very fixed mindset when you ask what's wrong with me versus what happened to me. Right. And I think that in our conversations, it's been really a beautiful experience to help you see that there's nothing wrong with you. There's everything that happened to you. And it's a matter of navigating the events that happen in our lives in a way that assigns a meaning that's empowering. I just got off a coaching call recently, and I like had my mama bear part out be, and you've seen mama bear come out with me and everything. And I'll obviously keep it anonymous and keep it very private, but and in that situation, one of my parts, for those of you who are unfamiliar with parts, I speak about how I have many minds, and I have a part of me that I've named Mama Bear, who is like when seeing injustice in the world, or seeing someone's dreams being stolen, or seeing someone being made fun of, like it's that part of me that just gets so activated and like, don't you mess with, like if anyone were to be mean to Bianca, like Mama Bear comes out full blown. It's like, don't you
Mama
ever.
Bear takes no shit.
Mama Bear like is intolerant of people's arrogance and ignorance and mean and just cruelty, right? And this whole narrative that's unforgiving. So Mama Bear got pulled out because we were in the coaching session, and this individual was talking about their deepest fear. And I see this happening so often, where someone was growing up and their teacher stole their dreams away from them and told them that they couldn't because of what was, quote unquote, and I'm doing air quotes for anyone that's listening, what was wrong with them. And so like we've all heard the story, and I'm sure we can all go back to an experience, whether it was in school or someone that had a position perceptively that had authority or power or status that was bigger, older, stronger, whatever, smarter than us, told us that we couldn't do something because of what was wrong with us. Instead of being curious and saying, well, what happened to you makes you even more suitable for that dream, makes you even more suitable for who you're becoming. You know, I call them light dimmers, and people that like just turn up your light. And so for this episode, one of the things that I found so important to bring forward, not only in that conversation, but this one, is that there are so many people that have that frame of trying to figure out what's wrong. And, you know, I even shared vulnerably in episode 190 of how I am such a problem solver. So I want to try to figure out what's wrong from the frame of like, how can I solve the problem? Right. Like, and that's the type of support I offer. Instead of, well, what's happened, and being and having space for not trying to fix, not trying to figure out what's wrong, but rather just holding space so that we can share and understand what has happened to one another. And do so and know that value exists in that self-expression.
I think another part of this too is that if it's inherently just you're broken, well, then you can't change it.
Exactly.
If it's just you and this is who you are and you're just that thing, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't, quote unquote, you can't change who you are, right? We get so caught in that. Well, this is just who I am. I just am this person. But what if you're not?
Right.
What if there was just so much more to you? What if there were things that you could work on and work through? And you guys, here's the thing. That is the truth. The truth is you are not inherently broken. The truth is you are not just who you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to you. There's so much that you can do. There's so much more that you can become. And when you can take it from the lens of, well, what happened to me? You can look at those things. You can look at those things and say, well, this happened. And I responded this way. Or I developed this belief about myself.
Yes. I'm literally going through that right now with the last episode that we recorded.
Yeah.
The 191. Remember how I said, like I had said in that episode where it's like, I didn't realize, like I said this in some form of like, I didn't realize that people are only going to come to me when they have problems that they want solved, because that's the type of support that I'm really, really good at. I shifted into, instead of what's wrong with me, because I remember in the episode I said, like, am I a bad person for not being able to be the emotional support system for my partner? I like, there was a moment where I shifted into that, and I shared that vulnerably on the podcast. And B, since then, I have shifted into, well, what happened to me such that every time someone is trying to vulnerably express, I don't realize that my value in that moment is being there in support in whatever way they need, not in the way that I've been conditioned to offer support, where my value used to be, where my value has been, right? So even shifting in that for me, like I've done tons of this, but in that one episode, and I want to share that with you because it's been interesting. Even someone who has gone into so much of this curiosity, there's moments where this will hit you where you can be super developed, you can be super underdeveloped, and shifting into this question of what happened to me in that curiosity state, that helps you realize, oh, so much, because then you can get curious about, like you just said, the meaning that we have assigned to it and the beliefs that we hold. So the belief that I had held that I'm literally actively working through right now is just in problem solving. That's not only where the value is for others. And the belief that I didn't even realize that was limiting in my capacity was, if I'm not problem solving, I'm not valuable to whoever is coming to me. And so working through that, I can literally share with all of our listeners, these crop up all the time. And it's a matter of asking that one question can really help unlock you. And that one story that I didn't realize I had, which was my value only is in the problem solving. That one story was even holding me back. And it did. I just, I did it earlier today with your background. Like I just went straight up into like, well, like so yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was something that I wanted to share with our listeners, that it crops up. And regardless of where you're at and you're in your personal development set point, like asking this one question helps you shift out of like, what's wrong with me? Am I broken? Not feeling as though you can fix it. It empowers you to say, oh, something's here,
Yeah. When you can look at it from that lens, like I said, then you can take action on it. Then you can make changes. Then you can see, what you're actually capable of and who you're capable of becoming. But if you just let this be who you are and you just are this person, then you're stuck and then you can't break from it. Not because you're not capable, but because those beliefs that we develop about ourselves, they become so ingrained into who we are. We take them as matter of fact of, this is who I am. And we don't have to. You can change it. You can work through it. And, to wrap this up, if anybody wants help doing that, that's what Emilia and I are here for. This is what we do. This is day in and day out what we help our clients and our community members to do. It is to break those limiting beliefs. It's to break those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from being the person that you could become. If you started breaking that story and that narrative of, I just am who I am and that's what's wrong with me. Yeah. So for anybody who wants help breaking that, for anybody who wants to realize that they can become more, Emilia and I set time on our calendar every single Saturday. We never miss, never fail. It is there for you to utilize. So if you click in the show notes, the link is there for Calendly. All you got to do is click on that and find a day that works best for you, and you can get on a free call with Emilia and I. And we'll just sit there and we'll just talk to you and we'll just have a dialogue and we'll see how we can help.
Definitely. For all of our listeners, the story that's hurting you is the one that you do not look into. That's what I would say.
Well said.
If we're not willing to investigate our own stories, we don't have the opportunity to shift the narrative. And that is so, so powerful in our lives. And we're always growing. So I think that our narrative should as well. But my episode suggestion is 190. 190 are your people really supporting you. And that's kind of the episode that I talked about earlier of what I was vulnerably kind of sharing with our community of like, this was something that I didn't realize I wasn't offering the support that was needed. And now I've totally shifted into, okay, what happened to me? And now I'm in this space where, interesting, I'm actually like even catching myself when that's happening and shifting into improving that. So really, really cool. B, what's your episode suggestion and takeaway for our listeners?
176, your self-talk needs some work. My final takeaway is just that final comment that I said. We all hear, right? Like, you can be more, you can do more, you can have more, whatever. And it's like, you hear that and it's like, yeah, okay. All right, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that actually were true? What if you did adopt that belief? What could your life be?
Yeah.
What if changing this one narrative of what happened to me and saying, or what's wrong with me and saying what happened to me, what if that could change everything? Would it be worth it?
I know that's what I've done, and it's so worth it. All right, everyone. We're so grateful to be a part of your evolutionary journey. Please reach out to us. We love to hear from our listeners. And it might not be Monday, but happy Saturday is when we're recording this. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.